So welcome back to Third Rate Thursday. In a moment we're going to go and look at this week's filming locations for Great Expectations, filmed in Shrewsbury, episode 4. See what Shrewsbury Town Centre locations or location was used in this week's episode. And then we're going to come back here in the garden out the front of Shrewsbury Library, formerly Shrewsbury Boys School. We have done a video on that. Leave a link to it in the description box. Then we're going to come back here and do our Third Rate Thursday admin. So buckle up and I'll see you out here. So you got this shot of Pip here at Council House Court in Shrewsbury. Mr. Jaggers at the opium den. And the actual door that they went in would have just been here. Yeah, so Pip would have been lying with his head against this gate here. As you can see, it is original, wasn't stage dressing. You could see the actual house in the background there, so that's pretty much the shot. Obviously the door for the opium den was just here. Yeah, that was the shot used in this week's episode. Yeah, and there was a sort of lamppost leaning up here. That was not here in real life. There is a light there, a lamp, but the one on the actual programme had a stem. Yeah, I'm actually erring now towards they actually use that. And sort of put a fake stem, lamppost stem on it, if that's the right word. It does look mighty similar to the one on Great Expectations. So welcome back over here. Just making the most of the absolutely beautiful cherry blossoms here in the garden at the front of Shrewsbury Library while they're here, because they will be going very soon, probably by next week, and they've had a bit of stick off the weather as well. What with it being, you know, there's been nice days but a lot of hard rain. They've been really pelted, so they've done well. So we'll just enjoy them while they're here. Yeah, it's Mary Webb, the author of The Golden Arrow, Gone to Earth, and many other books in the early 20th century. We did talk about her briefly on I think on our Rattling Hope video back a couple of months ago. But we are, as I've said before, we're working towards completing our Gone to Earth filming locations, which was the 1949-1950 production and adaptation of this it's a wonderful work, really. Features Shropshire a lot, and it was a tortured release. We'll talk about it in the filming locations, but Mary Webb here is going to feature in it. So anyway, that links us to this week's third rate recommendation, which is going to be, I'm going to put up a link to the Gone to Earth movie, the 1949-1950 one. The cinematography is wonderful. Shropshire looks amazing and mystical, and it's got really has got an allure, and it's a star all of its own in the movie. I mean, the movie was quite a tortured production in many ways, which hopefully we'll find about in the filming locations. But as a bit of preparation, if you want to know what a Gone to Earth is, follow the link and you'll be able to watch the whole movie free of charge. But I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't say, if you do enjoy it, think about buying the movie or the Blu-ray. It's fantastic, and you get a lot of extra features with it. So moving on, this week's talking point, talking about the weather not being the best for spring, but again, spring, April is changeable, April showers and everything, so it's pretty much on course. But what is your favourite season? My favourite seasons, I'm sort of cheating a bit here, are spring and autumn, for different reasons. But ultimately, it's the in-between. I like the slightly milder temperatures when it's really sunny, and the sort of melancholic way it feels in autumn, and the opposite, the sort of freshness and new life emerging in spring. So it's either end of the scale. I like them seasons the best. It'd be hard pushed to choose my favourite. I'm just going to take a little break here. So going back to last week's sort of talking point, I asked, what is your favourite Charles Dickens work, or a movie adaptation, or TV adaptation, or anything really, or whether you don't even like Charles Dickens. We had a couple of people talk about it with us. We had not Mark Knopfler, long-time third-rate content commenter and subscriber. He says, I'm with you. His favourite is A Christmas Carol 1984. But he says, very much like me, he's biased because he's got so many happy memories of it when they were filming in Shrewsbury. And he remembers them coming to his school, the Grange School in Hulskert, which is no longer with us, I don't think. Or is it? It might well be, actually. I might be getting mixed up there. One of them's the Shrewsbury Academy up there. Show me ignorance there, but I didn't go to those schools. But the film company came to my school looking for extras on walk-on sort of roles, which there were a lot used in that production of local people. So yeah, it's nice to have those memories. Not Mark Knopfler. And Neil Stokes, CVW Shrewsbury, says A Christmas Carol. Always remember walking to the Wakeman School when it was filmed. Under the tunnels there. I used to walk that way to school some years later. But yeah, that was my route to school. Because yeah, he remembers it being filmed in the parade. And he remembers them using the blue screen, which a lot of amateur blue screen, green screen, amateur content creators use blue screens now. It's quite easy, but at the time in the early 80s it was quite a revolutionary technique. So yeah, that's all very interesting stuff. And this week's Thursday throwback is going to be a trip we made to the Hatch Green nuclear bunker in Cheshire, again 5 years ago, when we was just starting out the channel. And it's a very interesting, obviously buried site, and it really gives off that 1970s Doctor Who kind of vibe, if I remember it correctly. And if you know, by the equipment and just the vibe of it, and you know, the voices of the people on the pre-recordings talking, it really does have that kind of vibe, if that makes sense. You have to watch the video and see what you think. But it's an interesting site. If you can see that. It was commissioned by the Mary Webb Society 2016, with grateful thanks to Muriel Furbank for her generous legacy. But anyway, this week's main Sunday lunchtime third-rate release is going to be Castlefield's Shrewsbury suburb, Lost Mills, Lost Pubs, Shredded Wheat and Northern Soul. You'll have to watch to find out what that's all about. Obviously, more so the Shredded Wheat and the Northern Soul. I think you can, but it's a very interesting walk through a neighbourhood of Shrewsbury I know very well, and find out some secrets that I didn't even know, and some fascinating local history. So it really is one not to be missed. So if I don't see it, so that's everything for Third Rate Thursday this week on Thursday the 20th of April 2023. If I don't see you soon, I'll see you 3 times as soon on Third Rate Thursday on Third Rate Content and Third Rate Content. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.